Welcome on in. Week 6, dear Mr. Fantasy. Mincy, we helped a lot of people get to the winner's circle last week.
We did. You know, we're our own. Me and you are both pretty. We'll look in the mirror and call ourselves out when it's on it. We didn't have the best start the first couple of weeks, but we have rebounded with a vengeance the last 2 weeks. I think last week we were something like 75%.
72, but still great.
Hell yeah. Well, we're going to get them again today. I know I've been following your Twitter. It sounds like you got a lot of plays you want to get into today. But before we do that, welcome everyone to Dear Mr. Fantasy. I'm Barstool Mitzi. That's Stephen Shea. And we got to thank our lovely sponsors.
Yes, let's do that as people kind of filter in. This show is brought to you by Roman. Testosterone is an important part of a man's body and health, but men's testosterone starts to deplete with age, which is why it's important early. Signs of low can include a decline in energy, stamina, weight gain, hair loss, low sex drive. Roman's testosterone support supplements that were designed by real doctors to help men maintain their body's natural testosterone production. This supplement includes 6 nutrients to help support testosterone levels, bone health, and muscle development. Who wouldn't want to have the proper levels of testosterone in their body? Go to GetRoman.com/FFF today. That's GetRoman.com/FFF for 20% off your order. And now Roman Tea support is also available nationwide at retail. You can find it on the supplements aisle at your local Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. So check that out. We got a lot of good stuff today. The injury reports and the inactives are coming out now. Did you see, it just came out a few minutes ago, or an hour ago, Joe Burrow showing up to the game in Ja'Marr Chase's LSU jersey?
I'm telling you, look, that's a funny lead into where I'm going with my props today. But obviously, it's a homecoming for Ja'Marr Chase, who went to Rummel in New Orleans. The last time Joe Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase played in the Superdome, Chase put up 250 yards in the national championship game against Clemson. Actually torched A.J. Terrell, who's the number one, starting corner for Atlanta.
Very good player.
Yeah, they tried to put him in an island on Chase, and he got massacred. Today, that just leads into some of my favorite props today. The Saints are playing without Marshawn Lattimore. He's out with an abdomen injury. And you look at the last 2 weeks, look, I mean, like I said, I'm an honest guy. I call it like I see it. The Saints defense is not the unit we saw the last few years. Justin Jefferson, 10 for 169 in London. Shootout last week, 39-32 over Seattle against Geno. People are banged up. Ja'Marr Chase is about to get fed the ball. His over-under 78.5, which does seem a little high, but he's had a couple, games where he hadn't had a ton of yards lately. He's about to get freaking fed in this game by Burrow on this homecoming. I really, really like Chase. He's also plus 700 to score 2 touchdowns. I know that's asking a lot, but if Chase threw up 150 and 2 touchdowns today, I wouldn't be shocked at all, Stephen J.
Yep. Shout out Motive to the Jeff Bodner thing. Remind everybody to like the stream. That helps the show a lot. I think that Ja'Marr Chase, logically, Joe Burrow as well, obviously won a national title LSU. Those are natural picks just in the prop market for their overs. So Joe Burrow, his line is 1.5 passing touchdowns. I am smashing that. Ja'Marr Chase, I saw it was 80.5. I got it at 79.5 on Friday. That prop I love as well, and to score certainly. Another one I want to talk about.
In that game,
sorry, go ahead.
One more in that game. I just want to do this before, and then we'll get off that game. Taysom Hill. Look, the Saints are playing without freaking no Mike Thomas, no Olave, no Jarvis Landry. I don't even know who the hell's out there at receiver. So what this game's going to be is Taysom Hill featured. I mean, it's going to be like last week, even though they're not going to score as many points. But Taysom Hill and Kamara are all they got. Hill's still plus 180 anytime touchdown. That's ridiculous. He is going to get fed. They don't have anybody else. So I did a parlay plus 10-1 Chase over yards, touchdown, and Hill touchdown. 10-1 on just those 3. Really like that. I'm on Hill anytime TD. Like I said, the Chase over and the Chase TD. But honestly, I tried to be selective today. I'm pretty all in on that. So those are some of my favorites.
Again, the Ja'Marr Chase thing we talked about. One I do want to highlight is Dalvin Cook. He has never played in Miami as an NFL player. He is from Miami. The only time he played the Dolphins was in Minnesota. I think he went for like 136 or 139 and 2 touchdowns. His line was 76.5 yards last night. I got it at 75.5. I like him to smash that, and I think he could be a sneaky multiple TD guy. Dolphins have been playing obviously they're out without their star quarterback. I don't want to say quarterback, their quarterback Tua.
Well, they're out there backup too. Week. I mean, they're having to start Skylar Thompson, a 7th-round pick out of K-State.
Yeah, that
I kind of glanced at his rushing over because he ran a lot at K-State, but then I thought about it. Can they even run him? Who comes in if he gets hurt? So I was like,
Yeah, I want to hop into these questions because we got a couple of very similar ones. We have until 12:05, so we got us for about 30 minutes. 2 very similar ones that I just saw. Where did they go? Because one of my – and if you want – I have a ton of plays out today. If you want to see them, follow the @TrustTheData account on Twitter. Where is the question? There was a lot of questions about Alec Pierce, who I love. From Cheddarhead, Deontay Johnson or Alec Pierce. Deontay's tough, especially if you're in a PPR. I love Alec Pierce. I put him in my big brain parlay, which is typically my favorite parlay of the week, over 44.5 receiving yards. The Colts are on their 3rd string running back right now with Jonathan Taylor out, with Nyheim Hines out. And I know they carry the mail as far as Johnson and Lindsey, against the Broncos and were serviceable. But we saw Alec Pierce really emerge. That was the FFF Parlay Plus, TNFFF Parlay Plus that we hit that night because of Alec Pierce. On the last drive, he was just absolute nails, brought them down the field. He is trending very up. He's at 61 or more yards in each of his last, I believe, 3 games. So he is a guy I like a lot. Deontay Johnson is the team's number 1 wide receiver. And they are going against the Bucs, who can be vulnerable through the air. But I'm going on the guy that's trending up. Kenny Pickett's still throwing the ball. Brian's a competent thrower of the football. And they're playing the Jets, so I think they have to do better than they did the first time. So I'm going to go with Alec Pierce.
My question quick on that. So Deontay Johnson, Pickett starting now. It seems like he's got a pretty good chemistry with George Pickens developing, the 2 rookies.
George Pickens, yeah. I mean, they came in together. Typically rookies, if they're in the same draft class, tend to do better together. Plus, they didn't come out as starters. So in camp, they're obviously working together a lot. And George Pickens is super talented too. All right, Mincy, I know that this is your guy. Mr. Travels, DJ Moore or Zay Jones. I know you've been beating the DJ Moore drum for a bit. You're completely off of him?
I mean, PJ Walker out there today. They're on their – I mean, Panthers have 3 quarterbacks out.
Is he worse than Baker?
You're right. I mean, Walker can run a little bit.
I think fired Matt Rule, so I think this is I kind of sneaky like the Panthers. They're not necessarily to win, but they're 10-point dogs.
No, I get that. You get the interim coaching.
At the Rams.
You get the interim coaching bump, but I think points are going to be pretty hard to come by in this game. So, and the Jags Colts over-unders are pretty much 41 on both of these two. So neither game really predicted to be a shootout. Trevor Lawrence had a horrible game last week at home against Houston. I kind of think he's going to play a little better. Man, I think I'm going Zay Jones. I'm just really down on Panthers right now.
That's fair. Brandon Johnson, pick 2 full-point PPR. Jacoby Myers, who looks like he's going to play. He was banged up. Drake London and Jalen Waddle. This is interesting given Skylar Thompson starting at quarterback for the Dolphins.
Man, I'm going to be honest. I don't think I can go Waddle here. He's been playing. He's been a little nicked up. I mean, he's awesome, but he's been a little nicked up the last 2 weeks. His production's dipped off. He's had an ankle thing, and I think he's not at full speed. Dude, Thompson is like a fullback at quarterback. I don't know if you see. I mean, obviously, I watch more college football than you, but he's not. If he throws for over 170 yards in this game, I'm gonna be shocked. So, I with Nelson Aguilar's out for the Patriots. Myers had a good game last week. I think he's gonna get targets in Cleveland. Cleveland's defense freaking sucks. And then Drake London is getting a lot of targets. Kyle Pitts is out. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I just don't like Waddle today with him being nicked up in the Skylar Thompson thing at all. It is what it is.
So let me clear something up. Kyle Pitts is actually active.
Okay,
active
he
is
said
Kyle
he was going to be
Pitts,
out yesterday. I'm sorry.
You all good. T. Higgins and Hayden Hurst officially inactive. Your guy Chris Olave my guy Julio Jones, that's his 4th game out, the lock of the year, is very much in jeopardy right now. I accounted for 6 games missed. He's at 4, and we're already in week 6. That is bad news. Mac Jones, Damian Harris, and then Nick Bosa. That's a big injury for the 49ers.
Yeah, it's funny. You and I argued all about the Julio Jones, Mike Thomas stuff, and here we are.
Not great.
Well,
all right. Let's go with Flahive 86. DK Metcalf or Travis Etienne. Seems like the Cardinals shut down team's #1 receivers. What are you thinking here?
I'm not benching Metcalf or Tyler Lockett with the way Geno's throwing the ball. The over-under is 50.5 in that game. I think that game could be high scoring. I'm on the over. And, I mean, I guess DK is the #1. I mean, Lockett and him, their skill sets complement each other so well, Steven. The way Lockett, just such a good route runner, works underneath, and DK being the deep threat. I don't think Geno, I mean, I may take heat, but I don't think Geno's a fluke. I've watched every game.
I don't either.
The way the ball comes out in the right spot on time every time. And under Russell Wilson, it never did. He always would hang on and run around. And Geno's decisive. The ball's getting out. They got talent. So I'm rolling with DK Metcalf. I can't bench him.
Yeah, I think this is a very interesting question here from Pack Raiders. For Christian McCaffrey, will they limit his reps so he's not injured before a trade, or will the new coach try and prove a point and run him into the ground? I don't think it's necessarily going to be either of these things. I think that they will feed him a ton because they want to feature him. I think if Christian McCaffrey has a huge game, then other teams are like, whoa, let me take a look at that. As opposed to if he has, 8 carries for 50 yards, seems like, all right, yeah. But like if Christian McCaffrey, I mean, teams already have done their due diligence, but I think it would help with him having a huge game, some added pressure from the fans, especially in like Buffalo, to be like, hey, let's get this guy. We're having trouble running the ball with Devin Singletary as we have had for the last 3 years. Like, let's get a guy in. This is our window. So I would think that they're going to try and feed him more.
My thoughts are, do you think Steve Wilkes is worried about, he's interim head coach. Right. He's trying to win the damn game. You know what I'm saying? So I think McCaffrey's going to be getting plenty of touches. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I know it's simple, but.
Mincy, is my internet iffy? I'm plugged into Ethernet.
Yeah, it's been a little bit iffy, but I think it's doing okay.
All right. Shout out All Business Pete. Come on, dude. Let me see.
It's fine now. It was iffy. It was kind of going in and out like 5 minutes ago. It's been straight for a little bit.
Got the cord. I'm plugged in.
You want to go ahead and hit our other sponsor?
Yes. Good call, Mincy. All right. The rest of the show is brought to you by Chevy. We're starting to see pretenders and contenders emerging with the first month of the NFL season in the books. There's one player that is never a pretender and always a contender, a start in my book every week, and that is Chevy Silverado. It's a show weekend, and with unstoppable grit and determination, Chevy Silverado is ultimate tailgate flex with available multi-flex tailgate and power outlet built right into the bed. First ever, ZR2 is the ultimate off-road machine. From tailgates in stadium lots to off-road adventures, Chevy Silverado has you covered. Head on over to Chevy.com to learn more about the Silverado. And it actually brings me a lot of joy. Doing that read, thinking about it, there are some people across the country, and, we're not reaching millions here, realistically, 1,000 people or so, a little bit more than that probably. Somebody in a tailgate parking lot, potentially in a Chevy Silverado, is seeing us right now and looking for advice, which is very, very cool. Teeing this one up for you. John Smith, pick 2. Taysom Hill, Zeke, or T. Higgins, who seems to be maybe banged up or in the doghouse.
You just said he was you literally just announced T. Higgins and Hayden Hurst were inactive. It's like, 3 months ago?
No, I said T. Higgins was active. No.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you said it. Well, Taysom Hill, 100,000,000%. You start him today. I mean, like I said, literally the Saints are down to what are they going to do?
We're not going to have a game like last week, right?
No, because the Saints aren't going to score 39 points again, but he's going to get a crap ton of touches. They're going to be featuring him. The Zeke versus T. Higgins is interesting because Higgins is dealing with the ankle injury.
Yep.
But you said he's active.
T. Higgins is active, yes.
Man, the Saints passed.
You did not.
I'm worried about things, right?
Week, I believe.
What? Yeah, Higgins. Well, he got hurt on the one of the first plays.
Yeah.
I wish I knew if this was half point or full point PPR, because if it was full point PPR, I'm going Higgins. I think half point and lower, I'm leaning Zeke because Higgins has been banged
I
up.
kind of like Zeke in a divisional matchup. I
Yeah,
know
and I also think
they're touchdown dogs.
Today's the chase day, and I think Higgins, he had the concussion, he had the ankle thing. I've noticed lately, I've made a couple of mistakes on here, Steven. When players are like questionable and they're going to play, I feel like these receivers, if they have like ankles and stuff, they're not 100% and it's hurting their production. And I think T. Higgins is one of those. So I'm going Zeke and Tannehill.
I like this one from Lucas Dericio. Gabe Davis, who's supposed to be in a shootout today. Last time he played KC, 8 catches, 201 yards, 4 touchdowns. Or Kenneth Walker, the third Seattle running back. High-scoring game projected against Atlanta. I believe the over-under is like 50.5. PPR league, so would lean traditionally to the receiver. But who do we see? This is a tough one.
This Gabe Davis thing, because last week his name came up and I said, how do you trust him? He's getting no targets. Then he catches like 3 balls for 180 and 2 touchdowns or whatever.
Yeah.
I felt like an idiot. Gabe Davis has turned into like Deshaun Jackson used to be like this and T.Y. Hilton used to be like this.
Yes.
He's either going to score 3 points or 30, and he's going to do 30 like probably 2 or 3 times a year. And so it's a murder to ask us questions about it because it's like full point PPR. I mean, Davis had 206 yards and 4 touchdowns in that playoff game against KC. I mean, he went freaking nuts. I love Kenneth Walker today too, though. I think he's good. I think he's going to get fed, and I think there's going to be a lot of points in that game. But the fact that it's full point PPR, Davis had the huge game last week. Andy had the huge playoff game against KC. I can't look someone in the eye and say bench him and then him have 40 points again.
Yeah, that's fair. Interesting call here related to Seattle. Nick Carter, am I making a mistake starting Geno over Herbert? I'll take this one. No. Right now, Justin Herbert, definitely more talented guy, better team, although with Keenan Allen out typically is going to hurt you. That being said, Geno is the flavor of the month right now, and it is still October. And this guy's rolling. He's putting 25-plus games this past 2. Geno Smith is he is legit. In a game that I think could be a shootout today, go with Geno Smith. Do not look back.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna. Your internet's been a little spotty again. I'm gonna back that up on Geno. You mentioned I think the Keenan Allen injury has really, really hurt the Chargers. Also, Denver, probably lower, not the biggest shootout coming. I think there's gonna be more points in Seattle, Arizona. So I'm going Geno. Geno, man, best thing that ever happened to me. I put $2 on him and I'm a big auction, and it's just paying off really big.
Yep. Oh, geez, yeah, getting a lot of comments about internet connection sucks.
Do you want me to? I mean,
I'm plugged in. I'm plugged in.
No, if you need me to, I can take questions and if you. I mean, I'm here. You know what I mean? Just whatever you think.
Sure. Oh, just a straight up $5 tip. Thanks, Andrew. All right, let's go. Ooh, this is. All right, Chris DeSante, PPR wide receiver 2, Isaiah McKenzie, and a projected shootout. Jerry Jeudy, up your booty. Or Romeo Doubs?
I think I lean Jeudy here. All these guys, it's hard to know. They're all kind of boom or bust. What do you think?
How are we feeling about Russ's arm? Monday Night Football.
I mean, not great at all. I just like Jeudy as a play. I mean, McKenzie's good too. It's just that game's going to be a shootout. Dobbs is kind of seems like he's getting the most targets for Rodgers. I'll be honest, I just don't really like Green Bay's passing game right now. I mean, I know that's a crazy thing to say with Aaron Rodgers, but every week they're laying over 7. I can't lay 7 points with this offense right now. I just can't do it. You see these Pats and Giants games the last 2 weeks. What do you think? Honestly, you know what? I'm just going to let you take this one because I don't know.
I got to go Isaiah McKenzie. I know that he's the 3 in here, but this is a 54-point game. I can roll with it.
I have no problem with that.
All right, Motive earlier. Shout out Motive. This is an interesting one because Cam Akers is a scratch today, out.
Personal reasons too.
Personal reasons. We know that there's been a lot of back and forth with him starting the year as wide receiver 3. We don't want to speculate on it. It could be, the death of a family member or something like that, or it could just be, he had like a mental thing and needs a break. We don't know what necessarily it is. I'm not going to speculate on that, but Darrell Henderson has been catapulted into this number one role. Someone in my league spent $147 on him out of a $250 budget, which I think was all of his remaining budget on him for an ad today. Is he the guy, PPR format, to get? Will you drop AJ Dillon for him? AJ Dillon, a guy I understand it's a dip. I am buying the dip. I am buying all the AJ Dillon stock I can. I personally would not do this. What do you think about it?
I don't think I would either, unless because the Henderson seems like a temporary fix. I mean, you could be desperate for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Because Rams offense is struggling. Their O-line sucks.
Yes.
So it's not the Rams. You're not getting the Rams offense that was scoring in the 30s last year at all. I wouldn't do it. I mean, I think that especially as the weather gets colder and colder and Green Bay doesn't have that many weapons in the passing game, they're going to be pounding Dillon. I mean, I agree with you. It sucks. I know it's been a little frustrating because Green Bay's not scoring a ton of points either, but I think Dillon's a big part of their plans down the stretch. And who knows what's going on with Akers? I mean, yeah, this could be a good thing for like 2 weeks with Henderson, but it just seems like it's a very muddled situation. I don't want to mess with it.
Great point. Let's piggyback on that with Michael Kent. AJ Dillon, Travis Etienne, or Michael Carter. He needs one of them, and he needs a week. My long-time viewer bet on Mike Kent. This one's tough. Michael Carter, I think, has certainly taken a backseat Breece Hall. I do not. I think of these, he's the easiest one to scratch off. I know AJ Dillon has not been very good recently, and I understand that. They're playing the Jets, who are a little bit juiced up. I think Travis Etienne is kind of a sneaky. Of all these players, he is easily the one that's the most on the rise in my book. He is taking more carries away from James Robinson. He is a weapon in the passing game. I like Travis Etienne Jr. here. Mincy, are you aligned with that?
I'm fine with that. I like him in the dome game too. Lawrence and him have a good chemistry. This is also a tough one because we don't know if this is half point PPR or PPR. And if it's any PPR at all, I like Etienne because he's good in the passing game.
Good call.
But I want to give you a shout out. The Breece Hall thing, I kind of bagged on you for that. He's really emerged. I mean, and also him in the I didn't know he'd be good in the passing game. I didn't see
Oh, yeah. 3-down guy coming out. He's a very good receiver. Like there's if you even just watch it, like, Just Bombs is a great cut up guy for the draft. His like catch cut up is great. He's making like one-handed catches and not like in the flat, like running actual pass routes. Like awesome receiver. Andrew tipped us before. Thank you. Darrell Henderson or Devontae Smith in my flex full PPR. We got Devontae Smith going against the Cowboys. Darrell Henderson home against the Panthers, but now starting.
I think it sucks because full PPR, you want to take Devontae Smith just because of that. But I think the Cowboys defense is playing so good that I think I'm going to take Henderson here.
I agree with this, and it's risky because Smith has boomed in a couple of weeks this season, and I think he finished one of the weeks as wide receiver 1. So he's a guy that's going to be hard to sit, but I do like the floor of Henderson more with that starting role going against a bad. All right. Let's go with Sir Berkeley. I was Najee Harris or AJ Dillon, and 2 questions: Taysom Hill or Rondale Moore in flex. I know which we're going to lean on at least these.
Well, Moore actually got a ton of targets last week. He had 68 yards and 7 catches. But no, I'm going Taysom for sure. I just think the Saints got to feature him. The Najee against Dillon, it's unbelievable we're having this debate. But I think I'm going to go Najee, even though Tampa, I think he'll catch some passes today. But it's not an easy one. What do you think on that one?
If you think he's going to catch passes, his receiving line is low. It is 12.5.
Damn. Okay. Well, I have a strong opinion on Taysom, and I'm neutral on the other one. So
I'm kind of neutral. I think I think AJ Dillon has a little bit more upside because I can see them winning this game and kind of salting it away. Najee, I mean, come on, up on the Bucks. This is a great question and a little insights because I do. I'm the commissioner of the show Fantasy Football League, which is the one that Dave is in with all the MLB sluggers. Shout out to all the Padres for getting the big win last night. He, as of right now, is starting Tom Brady over Geno Smith, and Geno Smith is actually projected to have more points by like 0.1 or something like that. This is an interesting one because the Steelers are actually missing 3 guys in their starting secondary. So that makes me lean a little bit Brady, and I try to be as neutral as possible on these. Geno I love, and I think is legitimately a fantasy QB1 today. It's really hard to sit Brady with just the passing yardage floor. The fact that Minkah Fitzpatrick is out, Cam Sutton's out, Levi Wallace is out. I'm going to go with Brady, but this is really close. I'm going to follow you for Brady here.
I think I go with Brady here too, because like you said, those injuries. I was big on the Bucs Steelers under all week, but then I'm kind of, the totals creeped up a couple of points, and I'm backing off it a little bit because of those injuries you mentioned. And now that the Bucs are healthier receiver, other than Julio too.
Yep. All right, Jake Allen, PPR, running back 2. Breece Hall or Raheem Mostert?
They just got to feed. The thing is that the Dolphins are going to feed Mostert into the ground today. So I think I'm going with him because of that. I do love Breece Hall as a player. But what's Miami going to do? They're starting a 7th-round rookie quarterback. I mean, I know Minnesota's going to be stacking their run, but I think I'm going with Mostert just because they've got to feed him.
All right.
That's a tough one though. Breece Hall's hot.
Yeah. This is one, and I can't believe this is a question. Kyle Pitt came in this season smoking hot. We, as a show, were a little bit cooler on him. For tight end today, we're starting Kyle Pitts or Taysom Hill.
I'm gonna let you. I'm answering Hill on every single question, so I'm gonna let you.
I'm answering Hill too.
Yeah, dude, they don't. Too. If you like I said, I've said it on here. I know I'm being annoying talking about the Saints, but what the hell else are they going to do? What are they going to do? Throw it to Marquez Callaway as the number 1 receiver? I mean, they're literally Kamara and Taysom Hill are the only playmakers they got. Dalton's over-under's low. I mean, they're going to be trying to get the ball to Hill every way possible. I mean, it is what it is.
I like this question. Brandon Johnson. Full point PPR, Travis Etienne or Aaron Jones?
I like Aaron Jones a lot today. I think he's going to have a good game today. Same. I think he's just –
I love but Jones, favorable match. You figure they're trying to halt the game against the Jets. I wouldn't be surprised that that's make it pretty competitive. But I still think Aaron is the player. I don't think Etienne stepped to that level just yet.
I think Shay's internet may be cutting out a little bit, so I'm going to take a few while his internet gets.
Mincy, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I got you. You're back now. You're just cutting.
This is definitely my internet. Fuck.
No,
I'm in the office. I'm plugged to the Ethernet. Brutal. Can you see this question?
Yeah.
Full point PPR.
It's
T. Higgins over Isaiah McKenzie or Ayuk.
This is kind of crazy to say, but I think Ayuk's got a pretty good matchup in Atlanta today.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a hard guy to trust. What's up?
San Francisco smashed Atlanta last year. One of my favorite props is Jeff Wilson Jr. over 65.5 rushing yards, which I feel like is 10 yards too low. He had 120 and a touchdown against them last year. Ayuk certainly a good matchup, but I mean Isaiah McKenzie, do you get a better matchup than that? 54 points?
No, I mean the thing is, it's like when in doubt, just start all the Bills against the Chiefs, and if you lose, yeah. But I mean it's a true thing though. Like it's like even if it doesn't work out, like you did the right thing. I mean the over under 54.5. The Higgins thing, he's banged up, and we think the ball's going to Chase. And I'm just worried. I mean, he had a concussion, and he left early. Like, who's to say his ankle doesn't flare up at the 5th play of the game like it did last,
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned there.
Yeah, agreed. I think we're sitting T. Higgins in our leagues. Zach Lefko, Amari Cooper or Raheem Mostert?
I mean, I hate to say this because, like, I appreciate Zach in the super chat, but, like, when you ask, like, a question like this, please say if it's half point or full point PPR because –
I don't think it matters. I think you go Raheem Mostert.
Okay.
Yeah, like against the Patriots, they've had they've been trending very much up on the defense side of the football. Bill Belichick likes to remove the team's top target, which is certainly Nick Chubb, but I think Amari Cooper is going to get a lot of attention too. So I'm going to go with Raheem Mostert here.
He said full point PPR.
Okay.
Thank you for the question.
That does not change my answer. From Anstar99, Najee Harris or Michael Carter or Chase Edmonds, full point PPR. I think we can safely say Chase Edmonds is a no, right?
He's a no, but I will say this about Chase Edmonds. He got dropped in my league, and I snap claimed him. Raheem Mostert never stays healthy, ever. And so I feel like the way they're using him now, he's going to go down. And if he does, Edmonds is going to be a great second half of the year, possible number 2 running back. I'm zen-like seeing the future, but for this Sunday, no way you can play him. At a Harris or Carter, God bless, that's tough because I'm worried about Carter's usage with Hall stepping up. I mean, at least I know Harris is on the damn field.
Yeah, I think that's what you got to rely on. Like, he's going to play snaps, which
Yeah.
we can't say for
the other two. You don't know that. So,
yeah. A lot of
let's get this Nathan. I'm going to get this Nathan Edgar one real quick.
Sure.
Okay, it says pick 2, half-point PPR. Jalen Waddle, George Pickens, Tyler, is it Algier?
Yeah,
I know
Algier.
He's the BYU running back that's in
there.
Or Deion Jackson. I love George Pickens today. I just think like him and Pickett have that chemistry. He's stepping up. I don't like Jalen Waddle today. Obviously no Cordarrelle is just tough on Atlanta, so there's opportunity for him there if you're desperate. But Deion Jackson, I mean, that's the Indy third guy, right?
Yes.
I'm going with him because I don't know. Algier, I don't know. San Fran's got a good defense. So I'm going with him and Pickens. And then the Cowboys at Philly or the Saints at home against Cincinnati. I'm going with the Cowboys all freaking day. Right now, the Saints defense, I hate to say it because it's been such a good unit the last few years, but what I've seen the last couple of weeks ain't been that. And Lattimore being out too. So yeah. I'm going Cowboys. I'm going the Cowboys.
I want to piggyback on this. I know you're not. You're very much selling over DJ Moore stock. We just talked about Deion Jackson, half-point PPR. Do you like Deion Jackson over DJ Moore?
I think so. Yeah, I just the PJ Walker. I mean, I know PJ Walker's not like the worst ever, but like against the Rams, what's he throw for 180 yards?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like if you don't think the quarterback's going to get to 200 yards, it's hard to start a receiver. And Indy needs to pound it. Jackson, I thought, looked pretty good last week against Denver. He didn't look bad.
Yep. We got to get out of here in 3 minutes. So let's take 3 more. Where's that one I wanted? Ooh, interesting. Brandon Johnson. I think we got his earlier, but all right. Melvin Gordon, questionable. Do I start Tevin Coleman or James Cook instead? Tevin Coleman always seems to be in a good spot with Kyle Shanahan. I don't know. James Cook, favorable matchup. He plays good, but like kind of in garbage. Like they're not really playing him when the game's close. So I actually had a similar thing where I, due to injuries and bye weeks, I almost had to play James Cook today. But I avoided. I picked up Philip Lindsay instead. I would go Tevin Coleman here.
Okay. I think Cook. The thing with Cook though, look for him his role to increase as the second half of the season goes on. I think he's going to be getting eased in more and more.
Ryan, most likely to get 2 TDs. Chubb, Evans. I have an answer for this. Do you?
I think Mike Evans.
I would go. Yes, yeah. Of these 2, I think probably correct. If you haven't bet a 2 TD guy, like Dalvin Cook will be my guy. 2 touchdowns. I bet that today.
Yeah, the Chase 7-1 one in NOLA I mentioned too.
All right, let's go one more. AV. Jerry Jeudy up to booty or Clyde Edwards-Helaire full point PPR. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, it's tough because Bills Chiefs. How are the Bills going to play the Chiefs without Tyreek Hill? A couple times they've moved all their safeties back and essentially been like, all right, if Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to beat us, let him do that. He has had success against the Bills. So I'm tempted to answer that, even though I hate Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's on my personal do not bet list. Jerry Jeudy is a risk because the guy throwing the football, Russell Wilson, has been wildly inconsistent. So I think you got to go Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I hate it, but just due to the game, they're playing the Bills, 54-point over-under. He's had success against them, so I'll roll with that.
Yeah, the Chiefs running back situation's one to watch going forward. Pacheco's flat, the rookies flashed, and then McKinnon is good. I feel like McKinnon's good. It's just they're careful with his usage because of all his injuries in the past.
Yeah. We got a lot of people saying who dat, so Shout
Yeah.
out to all.
Oh, I do want to say, I have a little rant. All these son of a bitches that are wearing Burrow jerseys from Louisiana in the Saints game today, no good. No, there's a very interesting contingent of the LSU fans, and what today is going to be like with Burrow and Chase down there. If you're from freaking Louisiana, I don't give a crap. You're cheering for the Saints. Period. End of story. And that's
I mean,
all.
you're a fan of both.
I'm a lot bigger. I'm not as big I'm a lot bigger fan of the Saints because I didn't go to LSU. But no, I understand that Burrow and Chase, what they meant to Louisiana, and Chase is from New Orleans. But I mean, you still got to support the black and gold. And you know what? Black and gold need your support today because I think they may be in a little trouble, Mr. Shea.
Yeah. All right. This has been fun. We got to get out of here so we can upload this, but appreciate everybody for tuning in. It's been fun. The views were going up and good concurrence throughout the whole stream. So thank you guys for doing that. And best of luck to everyone with their bets and in their fantasy matchups today. For Ben Mintz, I'm Stephen Shea. See you guys later.